Minions are a billion-dollar business. Supporting characters in the first Despicable Me movie, the yellow sidekicks somewhat stole the show, their role expanding in its hugely successful sequel. And with Minion popularity continuing to grow, they've now been given their own standalone movie, a spin-off that acts as both prequel and origin story.
One day, the pigs did something very stupid. So the wolf huffed and puffed, and she blew them off the face of the earth!
So the film takes us back to the dawn of time, when the Minions developed from tiny, single-celled organisms into diminutive, banana-loving, nonsense-spouting henchmen whose only goal is to serve the most despicable master they can find. Via Jeffrey Rush voiceover and a bunch of hilarious visual gags, we therefore witness them evolve through the ages, the Minions locating and serving villains during the Jurassic Era, the Stone Age, in ancient Egypt, and through the Dark Ages. But finding a boss is easy, keeping that boss is hard. So much so that when a series of baddies die in unfortunate circumstances, they retreat to Antarctica to experiment with a master-free existence. Without a scoundrel to serve, however, the Minions become aimless and depressed, inspiring one of their number, Kevin, to come up with a plan. He'll set sail for lands anew with fellow Minions Stuart and Bob, in search of the biggest, baddest villain on the planet. That's the setup for the movie, and probably the film's strongest section. Because the Minions work best when left to their own devices, with no human as funny or downright strange as these lovable oddballs. But with the filmmakers perhaps fearing that they wouldn't be able to carry a feature on their own, the bulk of the movie takes place in 1960s New York, Florida and London, and features lots of interaction with human characters who simply aren't as funny as their yellow co-stars. So having navigated their way round the Big Apple, they head to VillainCon in Orlando in search of the world's first female supervillain, Scarlet Overkill. But, as voiced by Sandra Bullock, Overkill is something of a dud, the character lacking in personality and one-liners, which makes it frustrating that her dastardly schemes quickly become the focus of the film. The action then shifts to swinging 60s London as the Minions steal the crown jewels, find the fabled sword in the stone, and get into a series of scrapes with some tea-drinking bobbies and the Queen herself. But by this point it feels like the film is going through the motions, the spectacle becoming ever larger as the finale nears, when what you really want is for proceedings to be scaled back so that the Minions can simply do their surreal thing. The jokes nevertheless come thick and fast, with enough slapstick and silliness to satisfy young ones, and more mature jokes at the expense of Nixon, the Beatles and the moon landings to make their parents laugh. But it lacks the heart that made the Despicable Me movie so resonate with audiences. And with the film soon turning into a Scarlet Overkill vehicle, rather than concentrating on its title characters, the whole endeavour feels like it lacks the courage of its convictions. So while there might be a great Minions movie to be made, unfortunately this isn't it, which is why we're giving the film a score of 6.4 out of 10.